All right, welcome. Another segment of the Glory Stories. Got a good one set for you tonight, man. Very excited about it. Had two bright individuals just chopping it up behind the scenes a little bit. So they're gonna definitely tap your brain, enlighten you on some things like that. But as always, keep the main thing the main thing. I'm gonna open up in prayer and we can jump into it. God, I just thank you for this moment, these stories, and the opportunity. I pray that you continue to guide our minds and our hearts towards you and continue to protect us. We thank you for your grace and your mercy and forgiveness of our sins, Lord. And it's in your son Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank y'all, man. Again, we're gonna jump right into it. I'm not even gonna take too much of y'all time. Keep it rolling. Let's get my man Desmond, as well as they husband and wife, a power couple, y'all. So let me back that up a little bit. Power couple, and I say power couple, man, because not only are they entrepreneurs doing their thing, but it takes you commend two individuals coming together and understanding the importance of wedding each other and becoming one. So that's more powerful than anything. So without further ado, Miss Emery Dunn and Mr. Desmond Dunn. Let's see. Let's get him on here. Yes, sir. How you
What's up,
doing?
y'all?
Yeah.
Hello.
How y'all doing? I appreciate it. How we living? Everything good?
Good. How you doing?
I can't complain at all. I appreciate y'all joining. And I
No
appreciate this.
problem.
Yeah, definitely the opportunity, things like that. Just introduce yourself. I kind of did a little lob in there earlier, but y'all can individually do y'all thing.
Okay. You want me to go first?
You good?
Well, hello out there. My name is Imery Nicole. Last name Dunn. I currently live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I do hair professionally in the RDU area. I'm in Cary, North Carolina. I specialize in natural hair care, braids, and extensions. And the name of my salon is Pivot. You can find me on social media on my personal page, Imery Nicole, on Instagram. For my business page is simply spelled the regular way, Pivot with a Y. So simply Pivot, Pyvot, and you can ask on Instagram.
Absolutely, she legit, y'all. I don't mean to cut her off. She legit. My mom's gonna get it too. So she it ain't no flag in her game. So she good. All right, I mean to cut y'all Des. Go ahead, do your thing, bro.
My name is Desmond Dunn. I'm her husband. I am a real estate agent. I own a real estate agency, New House Agency here, which is a regular residential retail brokerage in Raleigh. We serve Raleigh, Durham, Rocky Mount, Fayetteville, and a little bit of Greensboro. And yeah, I'm all things real estate. I'm in the process of being a developer as well. So anything dealing with real estate, I'm tapped into. I understand, and that's pretty much what I love doing is real estate.
Absolutely, I love it. And I'm actually we're gonna stay on Des a little bit. Emery, we're gonna really highlight you a little later. So I'm gonna ask Des a couple questions, man. Yeah, you talk about real estate, man. Being a black man,
Mhm.
land is forever. They always say if you want to be wealthy, invest in real estate. But I think the challenge that I think is when we are, brought over here in the sense from the beginning with we didn't own any of it. Just being a black man, I know you talk about. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that and how we, the slavery and stuff like that. Granted, we weren't living in those times, but the history talks about it. And my thing is like, how can we, or what do you think? How can we conquer that? And how far is it? Would you say we're away from doing so? And what do you think as far as the process to doing that? Where that begins?
So I think it begins with education. I think it's the people that understand and know it's their job to make sure they pass down the information. Because there's a lot of stuff you don't know what you don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's not told in school and stuff like that that's passed down through just word of mouth and connections that we didn't have access to before. And those who get access to is their job to come back and tell everybody that they know. Like me, I learned something new, and I literally to the mountaintops will yell it and tell everybody that I come in contact with,
Love it.
friends, family, anybody. because it's not my information to hoard. I got the information from somebody, and I'm supposed to pass it down the line to help somebody else. So that's the biggest thing is understanding the information. Once we get the information, then we can act on that information. Like for instance, my mom and my stepdad, they own property, and they I didn't think nothing of it growing up. I'm just like, oh, they had some property, they built a couple of houses, cool. And even at that point, they were 10 steps ahead of most black people in America. But even then, they didn't even go about that the right way. There was a
Right.
way that after I realized and started understanding about real estate, and I'm like, if we would have done this properly, if I would have known then what I know now, you would own this whole block on both sides of the street,
Right.
because we would have leveraged it properly. So you just don't know what you don't know, and the first step is the education, and not just on real estate, but financial literacy, because that'll allow you to then be able to get to the real estate.
Definitely. And man, I know education's huge. And I always thought like, man, I see look at I guess black I would say wealthy individuals. And I always used to kind of like scrounge my face up at them, because essentially I think not only is it just so much just education, but it's also like I feel like the people in position, like you said, you kind of give speak and teach and try and pour back into individuals that are trying to do the same thing. Like I look at these wealthy individuals, like essentially like I mean the Beyonces, Jay-Z's, Tyler Perry's. Granted, they're doing charitable things or they do charitable type deals, but it's almost like, all right, these people, we don't own the land like the white people own the land. Like how can we essentially get everyone to the position that they are, or essentially even in, I would say, the same type of atmosphere as these wealthy individuals, when you're not really, I would say, taking or doing something different than what they originally brought us over here to do in the begin with, right? Like it's kind of like that fine line of house Negro to the field Negro. Like,
Mhm.
granted, we're Negroes, right? And granted, you're technically in a different position. But when you're talking in America, like nobody's really running it that is a Negro. So it's like, even though you've reached that amount of success, like how do we get to where, okay, we're back in control, because we were in control when essentially we're still in control because they own the land, but we technically built it up. So the strength is in the numbers. So if I feel like if we stopped, I would say, and granted, you can't really. It's kind of a fine line because you can't really just stop like working or stuff like that or anything like that. We have to work to provide, but I would say people in positions that technically can have those conversations, like the wealthiest black individuals, the Jay-Z's, the P Diddy's, and those individuals in entertainment or whatnot. If they stop, I guess, providing or contributing to, partnering with the white people, and maybe just, okay, hey, I'm not giving you this cut of money until we write in an amendment for racial equality for black people or something like that. Like we stop building it up. I feel like that's another way we should like talk about getting the land and making it equal for everyone as well. It's like, yeah, I'm looking at it like, man, yeah, we got to educate each other. That's one thing. Financial literacy, because we don't know what we don't know. And then you just start looking at, all right, I know this, cool. I'm researching. Maybe yourself, you study, you're intelligent gentleman. I can hear it. It's like, all right, I'm here. I'm trying to, do some things as well. What? Hold up. Why you sitting up there? Why you ain't like, what is that? But you talking about you for us though. It's kind of like one of the tough things, man. What's your take on that?
So I look at it as multifaceted. One, I think, like, let's take Jay Z for instance. Some people have a problem with how he does business. Me, I love it. There needs to be
Mhm.
somebody in rooms that we've never had access to, right?
Absolutely.
Um, and yeah, he might not be directly on the ground in the hood anymore, but
Right.
he's opening doors for my daughters to take the knowledge that I'm giving them now, and they're going to be able to step into that place.
Right.
But also, we coming into a different time, we have to understand how to play the game. We think that people are just going to do what they're supposed to do or do good just because they're good people, and that's not how America works.
Absolutely, definitely not.
And it hasn't worked like that since the beginning of time. And so we have to understand, and this is me understanding even real estate and development piece. Real estate development is not only real estate, but it's politics and it's finance, all wrapped in one. And so the politic part is huge. If we understood the power of politics, we could get things done. But we don't understand how to play the game. With politics, it takes money. That's the only reason why politicians move. That's it. They move
Absolutely.
because of money. You donate a certain amount of money to their campaign, and now you have
I'm telling
power
you.
and leverage. And so if we understand that, then instead of just going to our politicians saying, "Hey, can you please do this good thing for us for the community because it's the good thing to do?" No, it's, "Hey, here's $10 million. This is what you're going to do, and this is when we need it done by. Can you do
Absolutely.
it? You can't. Okay, we're going to move on to the next candidate who can." So
Definitely.
that's kind of mindset we have to get. We got to learn how to play the game, how it needs to be played, and play it in our favor. And then like I said, we got to stop. Like I look at Jay-Z as inspiration. I don't look at him as my savior to get me out of my situation.
That's
Like
real.
he's opening doors that maybe I might not be able to get to in my lifetime, but my grandkids might be able to get to. So I'm thankful for that. But
For
here on
sure.
the ground, I'm affecting what I can change and what I can tap into and who I can affect on my level. And I think if we all do that on every level, we'll gradually pick each other up.
For
Um,
sure.
that's the way I look at that.
Definitely. Hey, I ain't even got nothing to piggyback off that, man. That's true. Because it's like you got to do your thing, as well as, I guess look at, but they focused on them. Ain't who's to say we. I'm not true. It's
Can you hear me?
It's lagging a little bit.
kind of,
Can you hear me,
y'all got.
Corinne?
Oh,
Okay. Okay. I think we caught up good. I think it was lagging just a little bit.
uh,
I can hear you.
it's kind of lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, lagging.
Is it lagging on our end? Can you hear me?
Y'all got me.
Okay. I can hear you now. Can you hear us? Uh-oh. Did he close out? It's still going.
I think it logged him off. Maybe the connection was gone.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to just leave it up there.
I don't know what happened just now.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh?
We good. Back.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, I still was going like, but luckily it's recorded though, so I can edit it or whatever. Yeah, so yeah, it's all good though. But yeah, we're gonna. I was saying how I'm gonna go ahead and just go ahead and Emery now, and then we can just keep moving along. So, all right, Emery, I appreciate that, Des, man. That's good insight. But I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about purpose. I want to just communicate and just get your insight on what purpose is to you and things like that. And it's coming from Psalm 63:4. I will bless you as long as I live. In your name, I will uplift my hands. And when I read that, this word is, to me, giving the people direction in a sense, right? And purpose, trying to show us and help us understand where our power truly like comes from. What do you feel your purpose is, and have you found it yet, or do you feel like you found it yet?
Okay, so for me, I felt like my purpose has been refined in the past year. I've always kind of had an understanding of what it entailed, but I think this past year has gave me like the framework to really understand what it is. So I definitely feel my purpose is to inspire and impact people. And I feel that way just because when those things occur, so if there's a situation in the salon where I'm speaking to someone and I can see that it truly resonates with them, or even someone coming back and telling me like conversations that I've had or how I carry myself has really, imparted a difference in their life. That's where I gain fulfillment. That's where I feel like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right, true. Because I think of it like purpose is like one of them things that I feel like is, free flowing. Like it like just happens kind of naturally, right? There's not a lot of, I would say, resistance there. Whatever you were born to do, like it would eventually happen. You know what I'm saying? And it could be multiple things. What are, I would say, multiple purposes that you may have come in contact with, or you feel like may down the road, be something that you tap into?
I would say the beginning of, well, not the beginning of my entrepreneurship, but when I first opened my salon on 9th Street, I knew exactly what I was getting into, but I didn't realize how much I needed that experience to help shape me and help the people who are connected to me. I think when you're living in your purpose, and like you said, it should be able to flow easily. I think sometimes naturally, and I could say for myself, I would negate the bad with that, because for me, when I would associate my purpose, I would think it's like sunshine, flowers, and rainbows. But also for me to be able to endure certain things as a person and take those on and handle it the best way I could see for myself, but then later understand that further along the line, it'll benefit somebody. Like right now, you going through what you're going through in those moments where you're questioning it, where it's not making sense and it doesn't feel good. It's very hard to see your purpose in that. But those things I feel have built tenacity and strength in me and endurance. So when I'm coming out of that and I'm in my next season or my next phase, I can apply and take the things that I've learned from that previous season that did not feel so good and add it to my spiritual resume or my purpose, in a sense, to help enable someone else. And I think also willing to truly understand, or I feel when you get into a place of understanding what your purpose is, and when you know that this is what you're supposed to be doing, I feel like a different type of battery has been put in my back. So I feel like your purpose is also a journey. So, and let's say a season 2 years ago where I was experiencing something and, it was weighing on me really bad. I was really questioning a bunch of things, or even questioning if this is how I'm supposed to be living, or did I make the correct decision? Out of that now, I'm like, oh, I absolutely was where I was supposed to be. And because I have that puzzle piece that's connected to where I am now, like my initiatives are a bit more aggressive. Like my fight is a bit more stronger. It's easier to jump because I have like certain, I think that rough period or any rough period that we go through that's attached to our purpose is your foundation. It's your like, oh yeah, I can do this. Of course, when you're out of it on the other side, but like when you're enduring, right, it doesn't feel that good. So I would say tying in like the texture, like those moments that we feel like we are at our valley moments or we're really low. Once you excel in that area and you bring it forward with you to the next season, and you're able to share with someone what they should be doing based off of what you experience, and they might not have to go through as much turmoil as you, that's where the fulfillment comes in. That's where it's like, oh, really? Oh, wow, I didn't know that, Emery. And I'm like, oh, dang, okay, bet. So this was for you then. Okay.
Definitely, for sure, man. Because it's like I look at it like we as I would say humans, like when things get tough, you kind of talked about it. Like we have, I would say, if we have some resistance or like adversity that you kind of talk about, like we naturally had that fight or flight. Granted, it ain't that in the moment, like in the presence, in the physical fight or flight, but you mentally had that fight or flight. Like, all right, cool. Am I gonna stick it out? Or am I going, I'm gonna just chill? And I feel like both instances they definitely test your faith in a sense of okay, they both can work in your favor. If you fight, you think you're gonna stick it out. Okay, cool. At the end of the day, if it's meant for you with your purpose, it's gonna happen, right? You're gonna keep going, keep going, keep going, and then come to fruition if it's meant to happen that way. But at the same time, who I can't say that the individual that says I'm gonna try a different avenue and I'm gonna try and go about doing it a different way or whatnot. And maybe that'll come about later. I ain't that's technically the flight mentality or whatnot. That's a test of their faith as well, because they might look at it from the perspective of okay, I'm doing this because I know in the end of the day, if it's fate or it's destined to happen for me, it's gonna come back anyway. There's no escaping it, right? Like if it's something meant for you, even if you trying to deny it. I mean, shoot, it might be like you two when y'all got married or something. I don't know. Like I don't know how it happened, but it's like it's just one of them things. You know what I'm saying? Or me playing. I take my for instance, like sports. Like I didn't really think I was gonna play like on the national championship team, or I was just playing ball. Or I know my parents put me in it because they were saying this is a way to keep you out of trouble and things like that. Like it's not like I had this plan. And I'm pretty sure like when you all, like you said, met or got married or whatnot, you might not have had a plan, or you might have. Either way it go though, it definitely is a test of your faith. And I definitely commend your statement about the tenacity and things like that. So how would you say your journey thus far? Some challenges becoming a hair care professional. Just being a Black woman in the industry trying to do things. What are some injustices, or you would say inequality type things that you might experience, or if you haven't, or just talk about your journey thus far?
Okay. And then so to tie up the last question that you asked about purpose, and it'll help me segue into my next point. I was listening to a podcast and she made a very good point, because she was really trying to find her purpose, and it was, tearing her apart. She was like, people around me know what they're going to do. I don't know what my purpose is. And then she said, you don't find your purpose finds you. And when you mentioned like it should just be easy flowing, like this is since the pandemic up until currently, this is the first time in my life where I feel like my purpose and who I am work together seamlessly. Like it should be that. It shouldn't be anything that's taking you out of your comfort zone, anything that's compromising your lifestyle. It all should mesh and work well together. I wouldn't necessarily say I've experienced any injustices or anything like that pertaining to the hair care industry, but what I can tell you that I've noticed there's an extreme difference between how Black hair care professionals run their business and how Caucasians run their business as well. So when I opened my salon on 9th Street, initially the business model, we always wanted to do commission, but we understood like Black people or Black women didn't necessarily have the real resources on how to start up a commission-based salon. So because we were focused on turning profit a little sooner, we went with the booth rent model as a way to keep money coming in, but then we could transition over into commission. So what I found, for those who may not know, a commission-based salon is basically a salon that provides opportunities for stylists to come on to be an employee, meaning we would cover their payroll, their taxes, products, education. So basically the stylist would come in and this would just be a W-2 job. They get their tax return, they can do their taxes and everything. Booth rent for stylists would be when they come on to a salon and they're providing their own clientele, covering their own bills, covering the fees for products, their own education. So they're 1099. So basically all I would be collecting from them would be booth rent. So, we're in the phases of transitioning to commission and we're looking up information. We're trying to figure out how to go about this thing. And it's a pattern in the Black community. Like at any point in time where we're trying to kind of do something that's out or out of the normal of what Black people would typically do, we tend to kind of like pull pieces from here and there and try to make it our
Right.
own. So there were definitely, I did use my resources. I had some white counterparts that I associated with over the course of years, whether I worked at Greensboro Fashion Week or some that I've met along in passing. And I've asked them, you know, what were their recommendations on commission, and whatever they could help me with, they did in fact help me with. But I felt like the bulk of that time when we were doing commission, I felt it was like you learn as you go. And, you know, in the white or the Caucasian salons, that is a normal thing. You know, commission-based salon is a trend over there. As soon as they come out of hair school, they go straight into a commission-based salon. They get education for at least a year before they feel comfortable on the floor. So I think when we tried that transition or tried that business model, it was just basically us like sticking our neck out to see what we could do and if this could turn a profit for our business. And it definitely helped. Would you say that? Yeah, it definitely helped. I feel that, of course, like if we had access to more capital, we could have absolutely done a little more things that we wanted to do, but not at all using it as an excuse or at all using it as a crutch. But we know that now being entrepreneurs, that the funding is set up just a little bit different for people of color. So.
No, for real, it definitely is. Cause do y'all do like what kind of I guess resources do y'all use for your capital? Cause I believe it's like do y'all this NC idea, or is that more like a Caucasian type deal? And I think it's another one like what is it called? Dang, it's another capital thing I've heard of, but I can't remember. They do the funding for like small businesses and stuff like that. Like what resources do you kind of tap into?
When we started the beginning process of the salon, we did request business funding. So our business funding was through BB&T, and we found what was his name, Stephen. We found Stephen through a friend of or our actual family member, someone who's already had business relationship with him. So he kind of just gave us his information. And with that, we had to do a business plan. So it's a business plan of 5 years. And I'm doing all of this at 25, 26, 25, I believe, when we were like building the beginning stages of the. So we had to forecast at least like 5 years out of business expenses and how much we felt we would be bringing in. And I felt at that time like we were sitting at the big boys table because, you know, because in our community, we really don't talk about these things, or we really don't know the next steps. And when I was speaking earlier this week on a live with some of Howard's students, I was telling them that whenever you're going into business for yourself, whether that is for real estate or if you want to open you a small mom and pop, it is best to leverage someone else's money. And I learned that from Desmond because he talks real estate all the time at home. And I think that's a natural misconception that Black people have. We feel like, you know, if we save up all this money, then we'll have this to our business. But you don't want to do that. Like you want to use someone else's money and then keep your stash for a rainy day if you have to. So I'll even tell the amount. We got $13,000 for our business loan, but it was all for cosmetics. So the salon that we moved into was already a salon before. So we didn't have to like bust down walls and do piping. Like it was God really had his hands in that. All we had to do was come in, furnish the salon, paint, and maybe add 2 bowls. But it was literally like a seamless transition. But I tell anyone, I'll tell anyone in the beginning, like if you're trying to start your business, absolutely see what funding you can get. And I definitely feel that there are more resources out now, especially because the social injustices and everything that's been taking place during the pandemic, like in the summer from 2020. So any Black person who is trying to open a business, exhaust and see all types of funding that you're able to get.
Definitely, because It is important. We definitely do talk too much about business plan, writing one, and essentially just the funding options. Because I know I definitely ain't hear nothing about it in high school or anything like that. It's just it was just different. Like it was more so just really stay out of trouble. Honestly, just trying to stay away from certain things. But I guess that is the difference of just the culture of the public school system that you're involved in, and just really your environment, your demographic. So I definitely commend that. Now I'm gonna say the last question I have for you, like maybe for you said for you did a business plan years down the road. Let's say where do you foresee yourself in maybe 5 to 10 years? What do you want to be doing? I know you're a mom, wife. Where would you want your businesses go, and what kind of legacy would you want to be leaving along the way?
Is that for both of us or for me?
You
Just
can
for
do
me?
both. Yeah, it can be both. Yeah. It can be both because we're gonna transition to a little game, see if y'all know each other, a little bit, and then we can
Okay.
finish up. So both of y'all can answer that one.
Okay. So for me, I've been doing hair professionally since 2014. So what's that, like 7 years? 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And for myself, I like to transition out of things before it's like, okay, I'm done here. So eventually I would like to kind of exit out of hair. I would say over the next, I don't have a firm date yet, but I would
Right.
like for more income to be passive. So right now I'm setting up a few opportunities for myself that will work best for my client and myself to help them with their hair experience. I've mentioned before, I would definitely like to get into consulting. I would definitely love to do that with my husband, and just get kind of be more in the trenches in a sense of getting information to people, like being a voice to help people, like putting things together that really help Black people. So whatever that looks like, me creating some form of a resource to where you can kind of come and pull all this information you need. You know how like I do my speaking engagements now, I'm speaking on podcasts and things like that, but I would love to be able to have one specific area that I've curated to where at any point in time, Black people have access to this information. You won't have to go so far to click here and research that, because for me, it's all about creating what I wish I would have had. And I love that now I'm in a space to even speak and help people, or even me sharing information and someone saying, wow, that's right, I really didn't know that.
Right.
Like me, that's what it's all about. So if I could curate a business around my lifestyle, and in doing that, and allows me to flow freely in my purpose, that's what I would love for it to be.
Deep. I love it. Right, Mr. Dez.
5 years from now, I will be in the affordable housing space as a developer. I'm already developing somewhat of a three-step plan to kind of help change the affordable housing space. Not only build affordable housing, but set up community development projects and programs to allow people to transition out of affordable housing into actual home ownership. And so it will be my plan for the next 5 years. That's where I think my skills are best utilized, and where I can make the most impact for the community and people that look like us. So that's what I'll be doing for the next 5, 10, 15 years in this real estate space, is dealing with affordable housing and dealing with people that look like us, and how can we transition to home ownership and broadening that conversation.
Right. And before we jump into the games, y'all tell one more time, where they can keep in contact with you, Emery, talk about where they can follow you, Des, real estate. Y'all get your tags in on that again.
All right, thank you. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and plug my information. You can follow
Yeah.
me on Instagram. On my personal page is Imery Nicole. Imery Nicole spelled IMERY NICOLE. The business page is Simply Pivot on Instagram, simply spelled the regular way, Pivot spelled Pivot. And I also have a podcast myself. I'm new to the podcasting industry. I love it. The name of my podcast is Free Game with Imery Nicole. You can find that on all your podcast streaming platforms, and you can watch it as well on YouTube. And my YouTube channel is INTV, the letters INTV. And on there, you will find hair care videos, me vlogging, podcasts, all that good stuff.
Yeah, tell them about let them know what the podcast, what y'all talking about, stuff like that. Go a little second to that. Yeah, don't leave that out. Yeah, let them know.
So the podcast is, if you enjoy what you got here, it's basically that. It's me giving free game. It's me using my voice, my gift to get my information, my wisdom, my life experiences out to the masses. That preferred mass is Black people. I absolutely feel like we go far when we're connected together. I am not who I am without my tribe and those people who are in my core. So, of course, as my husband said in the beginning, like, what good is this information if we hoard it all? So that's what I'll be bringing to you: lifestyle, business, entrepreneurship, faith, God, spirituality, all of that.
Love it. Tap in.
Yeah. Tap in.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Des.
Oh yeah, I ain't got all the stuff that she got. Listen,
yeah. Tell them where they can stay here on real estate. Tell them where they can stay here on the real estate. Yeah. The real estate agency. Tell them a little bit about that. Yeah.
So yeah, you can follow me. My personal Instagram is Des of All Trades, and that's on IG. And then our company Instagram is New House spelled Haus. So New House Agency. And so yeah, that's pretty much all I post is pretty much about real estate or my family. That's pretty much what I do all day, every day. And so yeah, I don't got no YouTube, I ain't got no podcast. That's not my way.
Yeah, Des like to be like, he like to chill behind the scenes. The face of like, hey.
No, that's real. I be chilling too, bro. Like, I don't have if I'm on Instagram, but I don't post nothing on Instagram. I if I post on Instagram, it's like on the story. Like, if you go to my Instagram, there's no pictures on it. Like, there's nothing on it. I'll post on the glory stories, the brand, kind of just to promote that, like individuals like your Emery, like y'all stories, kind of like just to promote that. I just utilize it for those type of things. I just like I probably like yourself. Like, I feel like that's more of a, not to be sexist or anything, Emery, but it's more a women type thing. The likes and stuff like. I don't need to take a bunch of pictures and stuff. I don't need all that. Like, you know what I mean? So definitely, I feel you, Des. I'm with you on that, bro. I'm with you.
It wasn't always like this.
No, it wasn't always like this.
When we first met in college, it was the exact opposite.
Yes.
I was a social butterfly. I was into everything, and she was absolutely dead quiet. Didn't talk to nobody. And then sometime within the last 5 years, it completely switched where I want to be in the background. I don't even want to be in the front, and she want to be in the front and want to be seen.
No, it goes like that. Hey, let your lady do her thing, right? You stay out of trouble that way.
Let me do my thug fizzle, okay?
Yeah, definitely. So, look. All right, so y'all kind of was leading to it a little bit. So, talking about the history, you said back in the day it was kind of flipped. We're gonna jump into this game. I got some little questions for you. All right, here we go. Right here. Let's see how well my man remember. How well? Let's see. You're gonna be up first, Dad. Here we go. If you can see the screen, right? I wish y'all. I was gonna say you could have like a dry erase board, but y'all on the same screen, so we'll just kind of shit. If Emery can be honest and say that's right or wrong, and Des can be honest and say that's right or wrong. It'll work out fine. So if you can see the first, that's the first question. Then we're gonna be your questions, Desmond. That I'm gonna be asking you. All right. So if Emery were not working as a beautician, what occupation would she be pursuing or working? She might have alluded to it or not, but let's see.
Teacher.
A teacher?
Teacher. Yep.
A teacher? Emory?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, that's true. And why
Yes.
teaching? What about teaching?
Again, I love to educate. I love to inspire. And I feel like you can still do that as a teacher. I really have a soft spot for children who are like 8 and younger, just because they're so impressionable, their spirits are still so pure. And I feel, if you're able to instill great things in them at that time, regardless of what they're experiencing in life, I feel like that definitely can shape them. A lot of my best years, or years where I took in a lot of things that developed me as a person, were in those years. So yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I like that teaching. That's pretty good. And that would be any age group? Like, is it a
It would
specific
be
grade?
4th grade and below. Anywhere from kindergarten to 4th grade. My name is all over it.
Okay, got you. All right. You ain't messing with I guess the middle school. The middle school, they think they grown now. They think they starting to get grown and stuff.
Yeah. And then I would have to show who I am, and we can't do that.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, here we go. Teaching. Y'all got that. What is Emery's favorite food, Mr. Desmond?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Emery has a favorite food. She just likes food in general.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say food in general. I could say yak.
Don't do it.
Y'all don't know what yak is. It's essentially it's a Virginia thing.
Okay.
So it's oodles and noodles, ketchup, and teriyaki sauce.
Don't do that.
With some meat sprinkled into it.
Oh man.
And they would drive for 2 hours or 3 hours to go pick up yak and then come home. So
Yeah.
But she liked food, just food in general, just period.
Okay. Yeah.
Whose man's is this?
When you talk about when you reference that yak ingredients, that adds up to just liking anything. Because all them things mixing together don't seem like they mix together. So I can see how you don't know exactly which one. Emery, what would you say your favorite food is, or how would you piggyback what Mr. Desmond just said?
If you would have asked me this like maybe 6 to 8 years ago, I probably would have had one favorite food. But he right, like I enjoy food so much. Like it could be pizza, it could be Chinese food, pasta. So yeah, all of that sound like carbs, huh? So anything carb, anything
It is
carb, it is my favorite food.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. We're moving along. All right, number 3. What is one of Emery's pet peeves, if any? Dad?
So one of her biggest pet peeves is plans being changed. If are set anything that can go awry during the day in those plans, if it happens, it's World War III. So me, I'm gonna go with the flow. Life happens. Okay, this came up, cool, whatever. I ain't tripping.
Absolutely.
We can push it back or move it to another day. If we're supposed to be somewhere at 1 and we're supposed to do something at 1 o'clock, if we're not doing it at 1 o'clock, then the whole world will shut down and World War III. So plans being changed is probably the biggest pet peeve.
What would you say, Emery?
Yes, I've been that way since day one. I take pride in planning stuff. It just helps put my mind at ease. But I've definitely grown. I've become more flexible. But that is a pet peeve of mine. But I feel like I move through it pretty well now. But yeah.
Yeah, I understand, man. I think that's just women in general, man. Because I see that all like they don't adversity. It seems like in the moment, like on the moment, the spot. Sometimes I guess spontaneity. Spontaneity, whatever the word is, spontaneity. Yeah, is good. But I guess when they got their mind fixated on something, it definitely that deterrent. That's true, man. That makes sense. Yeah, all right. Number 4. what is Emery's perfect night out? You know, date night. What would you say, Des? Like when when you gonna make a play on it, how you gonna go at it, man? How you gonna draw it up?
Um, for her, the perfect night out is anything with intention. There's no like thing or specific thing that she wants to do. Um, it's just as long as I was intentional about what that night. It could be we could be doing anything. So she doesn't have a particular thing like, oh, she got to go to the movies, even though she loves going to the movies. Particularly
Alamo.
Alamo.
I love Alamo Draft House. That movie theater is amazing.
Yeah, all for the word around. But it doesn't have to be that in particular. It could just be us at the house, kicking it, watching movies, or whatever it is. Just she wants it to be intentional.
Definitely love it. It sounds like Emery piggyback that. Sound like he hit that right on the head.
Yes, that's how I am. Don't get me wrong. I am the female. You know, I love to be swooned, and I love all grand gestures or whatever. But I think for me, it's always with intention because you could be doing those things, but if your intentions aren't really pure to do that for me, or your reasoning behind it, it's kind of like, what was the purpose? So even it could be a Friday night, the kids is in bed, and I'm like, oh, babe, we about to cut on our show. We about to spark the hookah. We about to, that's how we operate, So I'm good with that.
That's dope. All right, it sound like you did good, Dan. It sound like you still in the know, bro. You still, yeah. All right, so look now, since Desmond, now Emery, it's your turn. Here we go.
Okay, bet.
Emery questions. Here we go. What is Desmond's favorite pastime or hobby?
Okay. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say nothing. Like literally, Desmond, his ideal day is when he don't have nothing to do. My man's if it's his birthday or if it's Father's Day, I have tried to like plan these like elaborate gestures for him. He was like, "Yo, he was like, I just want to chill. Like I don't even need all that. I can eat. You bring my food to the house. I can watch TV. And for me, I don't understand that. But that's what he like. I gotta get him what he like. So
that's a man, though.
It's like if once we done with this, if he had nothing else to do today and we was going home, like he would be so happy. He ain't got nothing else to do. So he don't like doing nothing. Okay.
What you say about that, Diz? I say that's a grand time. You ask me.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand that. It sounds like a great time to not have nothing to do, bro. Like
stress free.
Come on, listen, bro. I be telling her I don't like every year for my birthday. I don't do anything. Like literally, she's like, "Yo, what you want to do?" Literally nothing. Don't plan anything. I literally want a whole day where if I don't want to get out of bed until 2:00, then I just don't get out of bed. Like that's just what it is. So yeah,
I'm with you, bro. I've done nothing for my birthday either. My friends come over. My girl asks me what you want to do for you. I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm chilling. Like I'm good. Like I understand, bro. I understand definitely. All right, Emery, here we go.
Okay.
What was Desmond wearing? See, I got through you a lot earlier when you first met him. Can you remember that far? What was he wearing?
I can remember a little bit because I feel like I have a great memory. I can't remember the details of every outfit, but I know my man wore some blazers. Okay. When I first met him, because we were sitting in arts and humanities class together.
Okay.
Blazers. He's cute. And I was like, oh, he looks like Lloyd. The singer.
Hey, you do got some Lloyd in you, though. You do got some Lloyd in you. He do. So hold up. She played on you first, or you played on her?
Nah. So she had a boyfriend when we was in class. Right?
Yeah.
I would joke with her or whatever, play around with her, just joke. And I went by my way. She went by hers.
Yeah.
Maybe
It was the spring of my freshman year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
spring, what, 2010?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe spring of 2010. I slid her DMs on Facebook. Like, ew.
Yeah. Let me get at it.
Like, ew, what's going
Yeah.
on? So we get to just chopping it, you know what I mean? And then I found out she ain't got a boyfriend. I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Come on now. And so we just started talking. And I think we didn't become a couple until the end of that year.
Yeah. End of the fall.
Yeah.
In 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we just literally spent that entire time with the bulk of that time, just like getting to know each other, being cool and being friends. Which is why our relationship is as strong as it is today, because we are truly friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got some of my homies that like they don't enjoy kicking it with their babe. Like kicking it with their babe is a chore for them. Like it's something they gotta get prepared for and get pumped up for and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can't relate to that. Like
That's real, bro.
I actually enjoy kicking it with my babe. Like so I can't relate to that. I don't know how that feels.
Yeah.
So
all right, homie.
Yeah. My dog, I rock with it. All right, here we go. I love it. All right, what is Desmond's favorite holiday or daily tradition? Right, if you're saying, and I said daily tradition, like something he gonna do on a daily. He gonna get up, get some coffee, or just in a sense, like he might not do that, but if that's what I meant by that, or his favorite holiday.
Yeah. Okay. My guy loves it. So the area from when we segue out of Thanksgiving and going into Christmas. Listen. That man, he be having his trigger finger on the playlist for Christmas music. We love the Christmas time. I've always enjoyed Christmas growing up. Christmas is a big thing for Desmond, but I think we both, and I know he enjoys it just because that time is really warm. Like we're really big on family. We like to create our own traditions as a family as well. So he really enjoys Christmas time. He really enjoys it. Yeah.
Dope. Piggyback there.
Yeah, it's right on the head. I love Christmas because I love being around all my family and all my family get together and just kick it and laugh and have a good time, and just be kind of immersed in the moment. So yeah.
Right, that time, I love it too, man. I'm waiting for it. As soon as Thanksgiving hit, that playlist, man. I need to hear that Temptations in my mind.
In my mind.
Come on now.
I need to hear it. But all right, here we go. Number 4. Last one. If Desmond found himself stranded on a deserted island, what would be the first thing he'd do, Emery?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think. See if he got signal and get on his phone. I think I could be wrong, but I think Des would probably like look on his phone and see what he could finesse first. Yeah, I don't know. Like that's just the first thing that come out of my mind. Yeah.
Definitely with technology nowadays, that's the first thing. If he didn't have a phone, if he left the phone and he caught the flight or he woke up, he ain't had a phone.
What I feel like the first few thoughts that's gonna go in his mind is, well, I can't do nothing. How can I say it? If it's a situation he really can't control, I think he would like surrender to it and try to like finesse his way out of it. So whatever resources are around him at that time, like he would try and make something shake, because Desmond's not gonna stress over something that he really can't control. Like he's solution oriented. So I feel like his next steps would be like whether it's something out there that he can use to try to figure out a way of escape, something for survival, to sustain him, for food or whatever. Like he's very solution oriented. He's very like, okay, let's make the best of this and do what we can. He's that person.
Love it. That's what you need. Yeah. What do you say, Dad? What you do, man?
No, that's about right. I don't like dwelling on stuff you can't change, you can't control. Whatever you're dealing with at the time, just all right, cool. What's the next step? Not worried about what happened. It already happened. Let's figure out how we're gonna put one foot in front of the other and figure out the next step. So that's how I am all the time.
Definitely, I love it. I love it. Okay, so look, we're gonna finish up. Sake of time, just gonna share this screen, allow us to do a little final focus, kind of just to wrap it up, and then we'll close for the night. Let's see. All right, here. Gonna have Miss ladies, women empowerment. So we're gonna see if we can get Miss let's see if we can.
If you'll notice, I'm not asking what are you gonna do, but who are you gonna be? I'm asking you about how you plan to live your life every day. How are you gonna respond when you don't get that job you had your heart set on? For all of you who are gonna be teachers, what are you gonna do if the students in your class next year just don't respond to your lessons? For all of you going into business, how will you react when your boss gives you a goal that feels way too high? See, these are the moments that define us. Not the day you get the promotion, not the day you win Teacher of the Year, but the times that force you to claw and scratch and fight just to get through the day. The moments when you get knocked down and you're wondering whether it's even worth it to get back up. See, those are the times when you've got to ask yourself, who am I going to be? And I want to be clear, this isn't just some vague platitude about building character. In recent years, we've actually been seeing a growing body of research that shows that skills like resilience and conscientiousness can be just as important to your success as your test scores or even your IQ. For instance, West Point cadets who scored high on things like grit and determination were more likely to complete basic training than those who ranked high on things like class rank, SAT scores, and physical fitness. So what we're seeing is that if you're willing to dig deep, if you're willing to pick yourself up when you fall, if you're willing to work until your weaknesses become your strengths, then you'll develop a set of skills that you can mold and apply to any situation you encounter, any job you might have, any crisis you might confront. But you got to make that choice. And let me just share just a little secret before I end. As someone who has hired and managed hundreds of young people over the course of my career, whether it was during my time as a lawyer, as an administrator, as a university, a nonprofit manager, even now as First Lady, I have never once asked someone I was interviewing to explain a test score or a grade in a class. Never. I have never once made a hire just because someone went to an Ivy League school instead of a state school. Never. What I have looked for is what kind of person you are. Are you a hard worker? Are you reliable? Are you open to other viewpoints? Have you stepped outside of your own self-interest to serve others? Have you found a way to serve our country, whether in uniform or in your community? Again and again, I have seen that those are the qualities that I want on my team, because those are the qualities that move our businesses and schools and our entire country forward. And just understand this. Those are the qualities that you all already embody. They're the values you learned from your parents, from the communities you grew up in. And today, more than ever before, that's what the world needs.
Indeed.
That was good.
But
That
yeah,
was good.
again, I appreciate y'all for joining tonight. I appreciate you, Emery and Des. Y'all did great. I loved it. And again, if y'all want to say anything, last little set tidbits y'all want to put in there. If you want to say anything, you had an opportunity before I close for the night.
Well, one, I would just like to thank you, Corinne, for the opportunity to speak on Glory Stories. Sure. Thank you so much. I definitely feel that this is a testament to what your community and your village can do for you, because I'm close with your mom. So, just look at what happened out of this. And it's just so great. I'm so proud of you and what you're doing. Like, continue to do that. Continue to use your platform to uplift and share people's stories. And we are greater together. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Love it.
Yep, I appreciate you for having us, for us to kind of share our story. Maybe it touched somebody else to go after what they wanted to do. So long as it touched one person, then it was enough.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Again, thank y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all for checking out the glory stories again. Stay tuned for something else. Hey, we're just getting started. Love y'all. And always faith forward, keeping the main thing the main thing. God bless. See y'all next time.
God bless. Bye.